When it comes to any sickness of the mind, the way to cure the disease is to understand the disease and recognize what's going on with you. If you want to change something about yourself, typically you're going to feel sick about it, and it's going to take time. You're going to feel an uneasy presence inside of yourself. And if you want to change, you can change in just about anything. It just takes time. Some things take longer time than other things, which take a shorter amount of time. It depends on the sickness. Now, I'm calling it a sickness because if you're not doing something that's not right, and you know it's not good and it's not beneficial to another person, because what you do to yourself is on you. But what you do to yourself also reflects onto other people, being that your influence always influences another, being how you're projecting yourself. But if you actually address what is wrong with you and put something else in its place, you can always cure yourself. There was a time when I used to feel sick when I was studying, and I didn't like it, but I would force myself to learn it anyways until it felt good. There was times where I didn't want to do something, and then after some time, it started feeling better. Take nature, for instance. If you can appreciate nature and the animals, you have a different relationship with life. That is a big plateau on ascension and spirituality. Carrying yourself higher with nature and loving more what is around you and people, but nature helps first. That is where I originally started, was the animals. Seeing how they conducted themselves with different flocks or the same flocks in general. Being, if you have a flock of birds, you have some seagulls, you have some doves, some blue jays, typically they'll congregate together. They'll go into a group together rather than be spread out around each other. They'll try to go near each other that are their own kind. But they'll all get along most of the time, unless they're fighting for food and or one feels dominant over another person. I went off on a tree of thought here with the branch that I was starting from to talk about one subject, and I went to another so you can understand a little bit more, because there's always connecting factors to everything. It's not usually just one subject matter. But if you're doing something that makes you feel sick or makes you feel good and you know it's sick, just fight it. Put something else in its place until you no longer want to think about that. Change your pattern of thought. Thinking is everything of where you go in conversational matters. Being usually when I talk, I stay in common sense and I don't veer away from it. That's how I know if I'm talking to somebody has another agenda at hand. Sicknesses do pass, if you want them to.